All right, so we've been looking at evaluating past financial performance. We just finished looking at doing financial planning, doing budgeting. The third thing that we want to spend a little bit of time on this morning now is how do we finance the growth of our business? What are our options in terms of funding our growth? What are the opportunities for funding our growth? So I want to start with this. I want for each of you to imagine, just imagine for a moment that you had unlimited capital available to your business today. Unlimited meaning at least six zeros in a check that I'm prepared to write to your business. Unlimited capital, each of you. What would you do with that money? If you had unlimited capital, how would you use that money in your business today? If I was prepared to write you a six-figure check to your business today, how would you use that money? So I'd like you to use the chat function and identify one use of capital. If you had unlimited capital, what would you do with that money? If you would use the chat function, and if each of you would identify, Eleanor says she would hire a sales team. Great idea. Who else? One use of capital, if you had unlimited capital available to you today. Let's see. Who else? Unlimited. Margarita, bring about new ideas. Good. Innovation, new ideas. Michael has, we're going to invest in some marketing. Very good idea. Beef up our marketing efforts. Who else? Unlimited capital in your business today. How would you use it? Jason finished the web-based development. Laura, open up a store. Love that. Get my own cooler. Julie says build a call center. Helen says build out our second regional office in Florida. I look forward to visiting that. Julie says renovate the women's unit. Christine, get better equipment. Michael Hamilton, build my staff. Unlimited capital. Rick says improve the facility, invest in his facility, maybe expand his facility. Unlimited capital. So that's where I want to start in this discussion about financing your business. I want to start with trends. Nicole says hire an executive assistant. Good, good. So I want to share with you some trends in funding. And the first one I want to share with you is that each of you does have access to unlimited capital. You do. There is more capital available today to small businesses than there ever has been in the history of our country. There are trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines today looking for businesses to invest in, whether those are banks or individual investors or venture capitalists, private equity, trillions of dollars sitting in an account looking for businesses like yours to put money into. You do have unlimited capital available to your businesses today. Now, I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it was easy, and I didn't say it was free, but there is unlimited capital available to small businesses today. Again, more capital than there ever has been in the history of the country. Along with that, my experience is the money today is harder to get than it ever has been. One is because banks are more regulated today, not good or bad, not a political statement, but banks are more regulated today, primarily coming out of the recession of 08, 09, and 10. Banks are more regulated today than they had been previously, which makes it tougher to acquire funds. The ratios that banks have to maintain make it now harder to loan money to small businesses. So more capital available today than ever, and the money is harder to get than it ever has been. Money is cheaper today than it has been in a very long time. The typical business loan, term loan today is 5 to 6% annual interest. That's pretty darn cheap. That's pretty darn cheap. And in terms of equity financing, less expensive today because there's more of it available today. There are also fewer banks open today than there have been in a long time. 2/3 of the community banks in this country have disappeared since the 1980s. Think about that for a moment. 2/3 of the community banks in this country have gone away since the 1980s. They've merged, they've been acquired, or just closed. So far fewer small banks, because many small businesses for years have depended upon those community banks for funding. And now there are far fewer of those community banks around. And your larger banks, your regional banks, your national banks tend to be less likely to lend money to small businesses than your smaller community banks and even your credit unions today. So those are just a couple of the trends that are going on in terms, particularly as it relates to borrowing money.